All right. Settle down. Let's be mature about this, okay? For those who don't know, there's a certain realm in World of Warcraft with quite the reputation. I'm, of course, talking about Moonguard, the US variety. Now, I do gotta ask that you wait a bit before we get started. You see, YouTube is really picky about the first 30 seconds of a video, and given the subject matter, we're gonna have to wait that out. What's this? Where's the dancing night elves, the demons in the streets? Is this a town hall meeting? Okay, let's step back. Something's clearly wrong here. Moonguard is known for one thing and one thing only. There's no way that there's actually a bustling community under the surface. Well, turns out there is, and we're gonna talk about it. Turns out the secret of Moonguard, and other realms like it, is that they have some of the kindest, most passionate folks I've ever met playing this game. And I bet ever having watched this video, you might even consider joining in on the fun. Let's start with some basics. RP, role-playing. That's what the core of these servers is. It's the idea that when you hit that login button, you become your character. When you walk around town, or you're chatting up with another player, you're the hero you create a character select. If you ever played Dungeons & Dragons, you probably get it already. These realms are essentially a persistent online campaign you can just hop into, down to even having a D20 combat system. While some people RP on any realm, World of Warcraft has a few ones set aside for it, and they operate under different rules than your typical ones. For one, if you're on these realms, there's a level of respect you're expected to show to others. That means not running around yelling your head off about something out of character. And more interestingly, these realms aren't sharded. What does that mean? Well, when the game is a bit overpopulated, sharding can occur, in which an instance of the game can be separated off to split up players to help with server load. Now, while this is great for server stability, this makes role-playing impossible. On roleplay servers, these communities require they can post a location and time, and players are able to show up and see everyone. No hoops to jump through. This differs from other realms, where if me and a friend are both in Stormwind at the same time and place, it's a coin flip if we can actually see each other in a group. The lack of sharding does wonders for the community on this realm. Can you imagine the sense of belonging when you're doing world content or running around a city and you run into the friends you've met in the past? Just taking a moment to chat? When I first came up with the idea to do this video and I transferred over to Moonguard, I got recognized as that new lore YouTuber for the first time ever. And multiple other times all in that same day. You really start to feel like you share a world with the other people in your realm. And I think that's something the modern game has missed a bit over the years. But back on the people. Moonguard is pretty huge and a very storied community. It's got its notable characters, politics, history, you name it. While I would love to talk about this treasure trove of community lore, we're going to focus on just my personal experience so far on the realm. As you can tell from my last two videos, and the fact my character looks like this, I'm a big fan of Gilneas and their lore. So when I transferred over to Moonguard to investigate it, I found a home in the Kingdom of Gilneas Guild, or COG for short. I figured it'd be a good idea to attach myself early on to a community to help me out when I'm such a noob. It was a pretty good idea. The folks in this guild are super nice and welcoming, and in no time I felt like I had been in the loop of the RP world and its happenings. Through this guild, I always had some sort of event to go to or people to chat with, and never felt like a tourist, though I admittedly still was. But you may be wondering, what does an RP guild do? Are they pushing keys in character? Slaying for rock? Lamenting their storied histories? No, not really. They hold parliament, go on fishing trips, visit farmers markets, embark on fictional campaigns. These are players who love the world of Warcraft so much they spend most of their playtime just taking it slow and breathing it in. You just kind of have to respect that, right? I don't know about you guys, but through the years of doom and gloom about Warcraft, it is so refreshing to see a group of folks who are just unapologetically in love with everything Warcraft. Roleplayers do the kind of world building that Blizzard can't afford to do. While the devs are preparing a grand tale about cosmic forces, the roleplayers are acting out what Gilneas is up to post-Reclamation. Or what are the Primalist and Flame Druids doing nowadays? It's the sort of closure that WoW often doesn't have the time to take and create. And that's not all they do. While meandering about this realm, I've walked into some awesome stuff, like street musicians using an add-on called Musician to play music for other players. or even an elaborate stage play by the Hearthside Theater Company. Oh, and this one time, I ran into a fireworks show by the Striped Zebra Troupe. Most of the stuff I've run into is just walking on the city streets. I can't express in a YouTube video how alive and bustling the player hubs are in these realms. They evolve into fully fledged cities. I want to make this video because I feel like this passionate community has been dealt a bad hand by the greater player base at whole. Do you think it's fair to these players to have all this work into building a thriving, living, breathing world swept under the rug due to, albeit quirky, little corner of it? I'm not trying to convince you just to think differently about this realm. I honestly believe that if people knew what was actually happening here, they'd want to join in on the fun too. Personally, I've tried tabletop RPGs countless times, though between scheduling and someone having to play GM, it never works out. But having stumbled upon this community, I've been able to have the fun I was looking for with a fraction of the hassle. I can just load up World of Warcraft, start my own session of a personal campaign, all with hundreds of other people with their own developed backstories. Even if you don't want to join in on the fun, it just makes the game feel so much more alive. If you see this video and you do decide to join in, I'm happy to hear that. I recommend joining up with a guild like I did. There's a lot of culture you need to catch up on. And like any piece of WoW content, a bunch of add-ons you'll need to get started. There's a wide range of guilds, from stand-ins for major lore kingdoms, small paladin orders, or any other niche you can think of. It's a good idea to find a safe corner to call home they can feel comfortable in, especially when there's a lot going on in the greater world. And hey, if you happen to catch me walking around, feel free to give me a wave. I love meeting you all, and it'd be my pleasure. For any other Moonguard or role players watching this video, let me know in the comments how fun it can be. I would love to read all of your stories and experiences, and who knows, if this video does well, I would love to cover more in-depth stuff like add-ons, specific events, or even the emergent stories that naturally evolve in a space like this. But before we wrap this up, I need to thank my Patreons. Thank you to Marianne, cruising through Belmet, Zik.exe, popping a portal to the $1 Crater. Oh, wait, no, not that one. Maria's Bomb, showing us all the benefits of a green thumb. Pippin Eats Peanuts, who thinks all my videos need a hint of the Queen. Avarius, a Dracther who's probably waiting for the Pirza video. Lonum, the newest Volpira to the party. Coda, whose Mog is just on point. Cookies, showing us what the Horde is all about. Sarah, our first Draenei of the show. Welcome. The fifth horseman himself, Thunderbolt 5891. And Zaldric, the GM of Kingdom of Gilneas. I guess I'm doing something right. And with that, it's time for me to get going. This has been Six. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys next time.